Welcome folks, it's Nick here, day 12, and just left Budapest, and what a pretty city it is too. Yesterday I took the day off. Day before we'd done 299 kilometers, taking the running total to somewhere like 2,700 kilometers, and which is probably about 1,700 miles. And then yeah, so I took a day off, did some chores I needed to do, did some video editing and stuff, which has taken me an age. I have the greatest respect for those who can do these things, but it's all a learning process. Anyway, so yesterday I went on a walking tour around Budapest. In the morning I went just for a walk on my own. I went to the Pest side, across the river, across the Danube with the Duna. And in the afternoon I went to the castle area for a walk around there on a guided free walking tour thing where you contribute what you think is worth. And Claudia led our group.
Claudia from Luna Tours Budapest. I will tell you welcome in Budapest, so üdvözöljük Budapesten!
Which was interesting. So anyway, on my way now. I've done my usual faffing around. We've got 294 kilometers to go to a place called Pécs, which is still in Hungary, I believe, en route to Belgrade. And to get to Belgrade, have to go through bit Croatia and then into Serbia. And unfortunately, because the UK is no longer in the EU, when I get to the Serbian border and you've got to enter through the official channels, I don't know whether you can or you can't otherwise, but I obviously have to go into the all others passport control, where apparently they like to do a very thorough check of all your documentation, how much you're bringing into the country, paperwork that you have, and luggage as well. So if they want to go through my luggage, it's going to take a day for me to, or half a day for me to pack it all back up again. But anyway, we'll come to that bridge when we cross it. But I'm not sure, but I think on this part of the journey, on this sort of 300 kilometers worth, there's a ferry involved again. I'm not sure for how long or for how far. I will have a look when I stop later this afternoon for a spot of not lunch, whatever that might be called. Anyway, a beautiful day. I think it's about mid-20s, still in May, lovely, and really enjoying this route. So pretty around here. It's a lot flatter than Slovakia, so it is different. I think the highest point in Hungary is like 1,000 meters, but I can't say for sure. Anyway, that's it for the moment. I'll check back in if anything interesting pops up. Yes, and interesting is subjective, so I might find it interesting, but you might not. Or stuff you might find interesting, I may not have filmed. So anyway, whatever it is, it'll be. So I'll catch you soon. I meant to add, I stayed at the Hotel Barra for 2 nights in Budapest. It's about a mile or so out of the city itself, but it was clean, tidy. At the time it was full of conference folk, so a bit busy at breakfast. Breakfast was the usual continental breakfast affair, but it did have secure underground parking, which was great. It was, I think it was about €100 for both nights, but there was a surcharge for parking of €5 a day. But as I say, it was underground and secure, which was good. And they also had a lift from the underground parking bay. I'm going to go past it now. To the second floor, which is where I was staying, which is very, very handy indeed. In the UK, that would have been a set of traffic lights around those guys for health and safety reasons. And if at all possible, it would have been a 3-way stop situation. I don't know what it is in the UK at the moment, but they love to put up traffic lights which tend to have 3 turns. One for you, one for the people coming the opposite direction, and then one for the little road or the driveway where one car a week comes out of. But anyway, that's just my rant. I missed this road. It's the fact that it looked like a little dust track. I thought, no, it can't be that one. So I had to come back and try it again. There was one that's very nice. Cobbled. Nice view from up here. Well, I don't know if that was part of the official route or whether I just missed it and it recalculated. Anyway, quite pleasant. Well, that was tasty, but not very healthy, obviously. So I will have to have something later. Whilst I was there, I looked at campsites near Pécs, which is still 227 kilometers away, and found one a bit north of Pécs, but it looks quite nice. It's on a lake apparently. This is actually quite a large, sprawling town. I'm quite liking these via points, even though the name is a bit misleading. It's the way I've split it and named the track. At least I've got it's visible, the whole thing, and I can see that I'm heading towards number 9, 700 meters. Should for any reason I veer off and go and do something else, and I know that 10 is the one really that I want to be aiming for next, although it might take me a more direct route. According to the woman who gave the free walking tour Budapest, she was saying that in winter it can drop to -15, in summer rise to about 40 degrees. It's a huge variation. But apparently the Danube, or the Duna, no longer freezes. It used to freeze solid, but since around the time apparently of the Second World War, it's more ice flowing down rather than solid anymore. During the winter you used to be able to cross between Buda and Pest on the ice, but no longer. Loving these rolling hills and all the forests around. Beautiful. I am wondering about the wisdom of putting these tyres on though. I think it would have been a more comfortable journey had I just left the street tyres on and struggled intermittently if I do get to do some off-roading, rather than plan for the worst. Because there is a definite rumble and a whine, and it's definitely, when you get above 70 kilometers an hour, it's only 40 miles an hour, you're definitely aware of a type of effect, which of course you don't get on the standard tyres. Buyer's remorse, great thing. I made a decision based on information at the time. I thought it was the right decision at the time, but nearly 3,000 kilometers in, I'm beginning to doubt it. Looks like they've made an attempt at widening the roads with little strips of tarmac in various places, just on the corners. Well, it's a small town. Roadworks, so just to keep the heat down on the pannier, I tend to turn the engine off whilst we're riding along, the airflow is keeping it cool enough, I think. A couple of big holes we've dug there. Well, that was a brief interlude. A lot more traffic going the other way than this direction. Very big tailback. So I don't know whether this is all part of Veszprém. There seem to be a lot of major brands here. Kentucky Fried Chicken, Burger King, McDonald's. There's a green flag showing on the GPS, which I think means that there's something of interest there, but unfortunately I don't have that information saved in order to get the track to work for me. I'm guessing it's these buildings on the left. There's some major significance. Okay, so just stopped at the side of the roadside, stretched my legs, had a bit of air. Outside a zoo. Quite a nice spot. It's a very busy road. Very busy road. Lots of woodland all around. It's just a shame that the road is quite so busy. Well, this looks a lovely spot. Oh! Don't know if you saw that. There you go. Some point soon, we have to get on a ferry. Quite sure how far away that is. Or how often it runs. Or exactly where it's taking us to. Well, it looks like the ferry is now just ahead, according to the GPS, 2.2 kilometers. Hello.
Hello.
Do you speak English? Yeah.
One motor, one people.
Yeah.
Okay, 1,900.
Can-
Credit card or the cash?
Card?
Card.
Well, that's not too bad. Haven't figured out how much it cost yet. But I'm sure it's not astronomical. My trusty peg. Saves argument with trying to get your stuff out your pockets. Here we are, arriving at the other side already. Not too bad. It's 16:22, so I got there at 4, so it's only 22 minutes, that's including waiting for this ferry. Szantod. Oh, a very nice brief interlude. Been quite a long stretch of major road. It's a 90 limit, but it's quite pleasant. Surface was quite good. So there's 55 kilometers left to the joining point of the next track, but I am going to modify it because the campsite that I'm staying on is not on the route that I'm aware of anyway. Trip A. We've done 274 kilometres, 9.1 litres since the last top up. So we took 9.06. Sandwich just in case there's nothing later. We're on our way to Olaszfalu, and it looks very pretty around here. Olaszfalu is an area with a lake, lots of camping facilities. Just hope it's nice. It's a little bit outside Pécs, which was just a point on a route. Nothing specific about Pécs. Olaszfalu. Oh, nice. Water activities, floating Lamborghinis. I say I don't fancy walking far today. After walking 11 miles yesterday, my feet were a bit sore. Quite nice to get back on the bike and let them recover. Panorama camping. Yeah. So obviously not seen it yet, but apparently I have got a little wooden shed for the night, and it's about €9. Well, I'm going to pretend that this is it, because it's number 10 that I'm staying at. Hey, look at that. So, I made it to the campsite. Looks pretty good. I'm sleeping in a very fashionable shed. But it's got power and everything. Super. And lights. Got a blue beer, which is nice and cold. Brewed in the village next door. And a pizza on the way. Life is good. And it's been a good ride today. About 310 kilometres, I think. So I'm going to turn in soon, but just want to say bye for now.